Hello and welcome to r/ProRevenge. The first post is from user Let Me Eat Cake 2. This first started about 7 years ago when I worked at a catering company for a fairly large university. The company was part of a school dining service, so it was basically just a fancier dining hall food. But it was an amazing job to have as a student. The catering director was an awesome guy and the supervisor was too. We had an excellent team dynamic. We had lots of fun and always got the jobs done. And we actually brought in a lot of business. Most of the work was catering to university events, film screening, and workshop. Plus, it was a really great summer concert. Plus the really great summer concert series, the sports sponsors, and we always got to watch those events for free. Plus we got to take home piles of leftovers, which as a poor college student, it was a dream come true. I worked there for a couple of years until it all started to unravel. Here's where the revenge starts. The director of the dining service was a nice lady, but she was retiring. The school hired a new director, and we first thought she was going to be good. She was young and very attentive into getting to know everyone, and she had tons of neat ideas to make the food better and healthier. But once she started, for some reason, she just decided our little catering crew was a waste of resources. She made it her mission to make her jobs miserable. In the name of cost cutting, the catering director asked around if there was any ideas to cut costs. But we were bringing in so much business, but she kept cutting hours. And then she started to come after employees' jobs. She fired half our staff and then came after us and yelled at us for taking too long to work events. Because we were eight people from the 25, eventually she took it one step too far and fired the awesome catering director. Then she fired the supervisor, which meant that employees with most seniority was me, a 21-year-old slacker, according to her, student who worked part-time and wasn't allowed to purchase anything or work during my class hours. I wasn't even allowed to drive to university in a van. I wasn't even allowed to drive the university van. It was literally no purpose for me to do what she wanted me to do. So I quit. And then the few people left quit too. It was to date the best job I've ever had. And when I had to quit, I was livid. Here's when it gets good. The catering crew all went their separate ways. We still kept in touch and hang out a bit, but everyone got new jobs. The other students and I graduated and moved on. This all happened in a decently sized city, but there just aren't a ton of dining service directors in position in the area. There's a casino, there's a couple medium-sized hotels, maybe a few assisted living places and event centers, but that's all. And it just worked out that the catering crew got jobs at most of those places. Since we came with a great reputation and I worked as a food and beverage manager at one of the large hotels. And one day, while I was up at the front desk, someone came to me and dropped off an application. It was the dining service director, who ruined everything. I guess the university wasn't too happy with her about the backlash with the catering, and they let her go. And now she was putting out applications to everywhere she could. She didn't recognize me. She thought I was the front desk person and rudely threw her application to me. and told me to make sure the manager got it. I smiled and said of course they would. After she left, I put the application through the shredder. I also tried to block her number on the hotel phones and left a note about her, how rude she was to the front desk person, just in case she came back. Then I went back to my office and called up everyone from the catering company who I still got in touch with, warning them about the old director was up to. The old catering director was a manager at the casino, and when she applied there, she mysteriously never heard back. 2 people worked in HR over at the other hotels, and she never heard back from them either. Assisted living centers? Nah, never heard back. The event centers weren't hiring, and they did not keep her application on file. She tried for months and months without any luck. We warned everyone we could about her, and she did not find jobs for months. I got a text from my old supervisor the other day. She had gone to Taco Bell for lunch and saw the old dining service director. She went from making upwards to $150,000 at the university to being an assistant manager at a really moderate Taco Bell. Apparently she gained tons of weight and she was going through a nasty divorce. I wanted to feel bad for her, but I really didn't. She could have just kept her crusty job if she left our little crew alone. But she cost a bunch of hard-working people their hard-earned jobs. She cost me and the other students our desperately needed income, and we just made sure to pay her back for what she deserved.